All right. Good morning, good evening, good night. Good. Good morning, good evening, good night, good whatever time you're listening to us. I'm Brooke,
I'm Camera.
and this is
A
Tale of Two Twenties. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
So today we are talking about.
Today we'll be talking about our halfway marks. We'll both be 25 soon at some points this year. So being at the halfway mark of our 20s, we're going to be diving into what advice, stories, or tips have we learned thus far, and what do we hope for the remainder of our 20s. But before we dive in, I have a quick question, Brooke.
What's up?
If you could be any body part, what body part would you be?
I don't understand why you're asking me this. If I could be a body part, what body part would I be?
Mm-hmm.
What body part would you be?
I would be feet, actually.
That's weird.
How is that weird?
Why would you be feet?
Because my feet, they get pampered. I don't get my nails done, as we've already touched on in episode 1. I don't like getting my nails done. My feet, they get pampered.
Okay.
I am very blessed and thankful to the Lord that I have 2 feet to be able to walk on and do what I got to do every day. So yeah, I would love to be my feet just for a day.
You would be feet.
I would be feet.
This is giving. Have you seen that chicken shop date where the girl asked Keke Palmer, "What would you be?" And she's like, "I would be a rock." She's like, "You mess with me, you get scraped up."
If you were going to be an object, what object would you be?
You know what, honey? I'll be a rock. They seem like they've got it easy, you know? Even if somebody steps on them, they win, because it hurts that person.
Solid.
I'm solid.
Solid as a rock.
And if you mess with me, you're going to get scraped up. Literally.
That's what this is giving right now.
I love that answer.
I think that if I were not an inanimate object, if I was a body part, if I was a body part, I would either be legs or booty.
And why would you be legs or booty?
I'm thinking about dancing, running. Like, I feel like you really experience most of life there. You know, when you travel, it's like you can, and you feel that you're in a new place. You're like, oh, I'm literally walking wherever this place might be. And not feet, because, you know, feet are cooped up in the shoes. But when you're swimming, you know, your legs get to bask in the sun, when you're laying by the beach. So I think I might be legs. And booty, I just think you get all the fun because you dance.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Because you're dancing.
Yeah.
Be a cute little booty. A nice little peach booty.
I love that.
But yeah, maybe I would be legs. Maybe I would be legs.
I love that answer.
Yeah, get to bask in the sun, feel the breeze when you're wearing a nice sundress or a skirt. Like, I think legs kind of get the best of it.
Yes, period. Okay, Miss Lake.
Yeah. So today's topic is brought to us by this BuzzFeed article, and it says funny tweets about being 20 to 25 that are unfortunately way too relatable. So as Cameron mentioned earlier, Cameron's currently 24. She'll be 25 soon. Ooh, thank you, girl.
Of course.
And I'm currently 25. I'll actually be 26 soon. We ain't got to talk about it. But we're still in that early 20s category.
Yeah.
So somebody says, are you really in your early 20s if at least one of your friends isn't convinced she's pregnant at all times?
Yo.
Girl.
The many stories that I had going all day about that one. Woo. Woo,
Your friends be having the scares?
Woo, Charlie. Woo. Real bad.
What?
Yeah. It just happens, you know?
I don't.
What? It just happens. You know, sometimes you have little slip-ups where you never know. You never know. It could be a 50-50 chance. You never know. But I feel like those moments, they really humble you, though. When you know, when you do assume that you are and you're not, and it's just, I think that they're really humbling moments for the girlies that know, for the girlies that get it.
Okay. Okay. Somebody else said, this is the generation of looking 14, but actually being 22.
Oh my goodness. Can we talk about it?
I think we look so much younger than those kids that are teens right now.
We
These kids look like 30-year-olds.
Definitely. It's scary. It's scary. And
I have to try to look my age.
Yeah.
Literally, I've been mistaken for a student.
I feel like this generation, they've just been brainwashed. Everyone wants to be so old. They don't want to live their younger year, their teenage years anymore. Everyone is just in a rush to be grown. Like, it's ghetto out here, y'all. Y'all really don't want
honestly,
to.
if you are in a position where you don't have to be financially responsible for yourself,
Honestly.
and we're saying this as people who, we're not even 1,000% financially responsible for ourselves. And we still don't like it.
Yeah.
So, slow your roll.
Please slow your roll.
Slow your roll. Check
Please.
yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yes.
But yeah, even the fillers and the Botox, I don't think that they realize if you haven't started developing, certain things I guess they do say you can get preventatively, but some of that stuff, let your face settle and develop. Your bone structure is not even completely in the space that it's going to be in when you're that young. And the have you seen these little teenagers going to get like Drunk Elephant from Sephora? It's this really high-end skincare brand, but it has a lot of like active ingredients like acids and exfoliators and things like that. And it's like, honey, go get yourself some Neutrogena face wash.
Girl, honestly, what?
You need to go through your St. Ives apricot scrub phase.
Right, exactly. The Neutrogena,
the clean and clear,
all of that. Yes,
sit down.
Please, sit down somewhere.
But I think also we were in a time where they actually made skincare specifically for teenagers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they still have fun products out there now.
I think they do, but I don't really see it that much. Like, I don't see remember it used to be marketed, like, remember like Clean and Clear, Proactive?
Yeah.
It specifically had like,
true.
Like, it was marketed at teenagers. These days, I think that skincare has kind of entered into more of the luxury self-care space. And so they want to be doing face masks and Botox. Girl, you're 17.
Honestly.
Put some water on that rag and wipe the crust out your eyes.
Literally.
You'll be fine.
You'll be just fine. Please.
You'll be absolutely fine.
Yes. Slow down, girlies. Please slow down. Please.
So somebody else said, when employers want you to have 10 years of work experience before the age of 22.
Yo, these hiring managers, these companies these days are tripping. Like, it's so crazy to me that these days that internships, they don't even count for entry level positions. Like, you gotta have minimum, like I said, 5 to 10.
What I don't understand is how entry level, what are we entering?
Honestly.
Entering the workforce, right? So if I'm entering, how would I also have experience? That's what doesn't make, that's like saying you want me to come in through the front door but already be on the 4th floor. How?
Make it make sense.
How?
I don't know. It seems like that has been like recent. Because I remember back when I was, how old was I? I was about like 19 years old looking for jobs. Like, this wasn't a requirement. But like, why now is that becoming such a strict requirement where you got to have minimum 3 to 5 years? Excluding internships? That doesn't make any sense.
I'll be so honest. I feel like the bachelor's degree is the new high school diploma.
Absolutely.
And the master's degree is the new bachelor's.
Yes.
And I feel like with folks having all these accolades and certifications and things, I think they're making the threshold to get in higher and higher because I think there are a lot more folks our age who have been in school for time, but don't have real work experience. So think about it. There are some folks who are graduating, let's say coming out with a master's or PhD, 24, 27, 28, but have not had work experience.
Right.
And so they might have the credentials to get in the door, but maybe not the professionalism, maybe not the actual hands-on experience. All they know is what they've learned in the classroom setting or in like a apprenticeship or internship. So I think that could be it. Because I definitely work with some people who it's like, let me rephrase. I have worked with some people where it's like you might have the qualifications to be here on paper, education-wise, but you do not have the professionalism. You do not have the tact.
Yeah.
You don't even, like, some folks don't even know how to write an email just because they don't have the professionalism. So I don't know if it has to do with that, but it is quite, frankly, it's a scam. It's like, how is it that
is a scam.
I paid this money, I graduated with this piece of paper that y'all told me was worth something, and now all of a sudden it's not?
Yeah,
I feel like that was the biggest scam.
It's a really big
that
scam.
was the big scam. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't regret going to school. I'm glad I went to school.
Right.
I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I learned how to learn. I think that's why college was worth it for me. I learned how to do my own research. You know what I mean? So even when I'm reading a news article, have you seen those folks? There are people on like Facebook and stuff like that will read a headline and feel like, oh my God, this is groundbreaking. And it's just not. Like, if you don't know how statistics work, then you can see something that says, oh, study shows, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I know. Let me see how many people were studied. Okay, this was a study of 500 people. That's not enough to really be generalizable.
Yeah.
But there are some people who will read those kinds of things, and they've never taken a class like that. They don't know when somebody presents them with research or numbers or stats. They're easily swayed because they just don't know.
They don't know. Yeah.
They don't really know what goes all into that being significant enough to matter. So I will say that that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is I've learned how to do my own research, because in this information age, everybody's trying to convince you that what they're saying is true, that what they're saying is fact, and they want you to purchase off that. They want you to make decisions in your life based off that. So for me, I think that was valuable. Do you feel like it was worth it for you? I imagine yes.
Yes, of course. However, I do believe, like, since that I was working and doing internships while in college, I feel like that experience, I'm not going to say it doesn't, it triumphs, like, your education. Don't get me wrong, your education is the foundation, but having that experience, it definitely prepped me more for where I am today, like, in my career. I feel like, not saying that college wasn't valuable, because it most certainly was, but I can see, thinking about it now, like, why they're requiring experience, or I think 5 to 10 years is pushing it. I could see 1 year, like, of prior internship experience, but 5 and 10 is definitely pushing. But experience is definitely great, and it preps you. I feel like it's like an icebreaker before you enter your career.
Do you feel like you would have been able to get those internships and jobs had you not gone to college?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not at all. Not at all. I feel like in my field of marketing, I feel like you need to have some sort of experience. Like, don't get me wrong, your education is great, but having that experience and having that education as the foundation is what allowed me to get my internship. From there, I was able to, then eventually get a job or get a couple of jobs.
So the networks and the opportunities, you feel like that was worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Most
Beyond
certainly.
just the classes and the degree itself.
Yes, most certainly. I don't know about you, but at my school, it was a requirement for us to do an internship before we even graduated, which was extremely valuable. And again, at that time, I didn't even understand it. I was like, why are y'all making us do this? Like, I don't, like...
So we had to do that for my high school. The whole last month of senior year, you had to go get an externship, they called it, someplace. So I definitely see the value in that, because it's like you're forced. Yeah. You're forced to.
Yeah. And you need that.
Yeah.
Especially as African Americans, young black people, they already place these wild standards. They already have these crazy expectations or have all their thoughts.
And you might not even know what the expectations are.
Exactly.
You might not know what is required to get a job somewhere.
Exactly. Like, we always have to work twice as hard anyway, so... So I'm very grateful that that was a requirement. I'm very grateful.
So switching gears slightly, this is our last one that we're reacting to. It says, my 20s as a movie franchise. 21, the disappointment and the anxiety. 22, too disappointed, too anxious. 23, the disappointment and the anxiety, Tokyo Drift.
Ooh.
So that brings me to, if you had to name the chapters of your 20s thus far, what would you name them?
Jeez.
As a movie franchise. So think like Fast and the Furious.
Oh.
If you had to name it like that.
I would have to say maybe something like Curious Girlhood Chronicles 1, Part 1, Curious Girlhood Chronicles Part 2. Curious
Not the Girlhood Chronicles.
No.
So you've just been curious.
I was a very curious girl in my 20s. I have been extremely curious. I feel like, when I was a teenager, I feel like I just had everything all planned in my mind. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, da-da-da-da-da. Like, if I don't do this, basically, like, the world is going to end. That's kind of like how I felt my teenage years. But now, like, in my early 20s, I'm like, girl, the world is yours. Like, you can wake up and reinvent yourself any day that you choose. Like, if you want to learn something, learn a skill, you can go read a book, go to YouTube University. Like, I've just been soaking up just so much knowledge and just been trying new things. And, like, I'm in that, like, experimental kind of phase. And it's like, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Initially, that was scary to me, but...
Not the Curious Girlhood Chronicles 1, 2, and 3.
I'm a curious girl, and I'm loving it. Curious, adventurous, I guess curious probably wasn't the right word. I'd probably say like experimental. What would be a good word for that? Experimental chronicle. I don't know. I've just been like...
The experiments of a curious girl.
There it is. Boom.
The experiments of a curious girl.
Boom.
Period. It's crazy that I've been in my 20s for 5 years now. That's kind of cray. Yeah. That's kind of cray to me. Because mind you, we turned 20 in school, in college. I think I would say maybe The Awakening. The Awakening : Dread and Intrigue, because it was daunting to me. It was really daunting. I was curious, but not in a way of like exploring. I was curious in a way of like I just had so many questions that I needed answers to. Yeah, so I would say that. Then I think I would have to go The Fallout. The Fallout. I feel like everything crumbled before it came back up again. Like the friendships that I had, the relationships that I had. I was in a different city, a completely different state.
Yeah.
So I feel like I had to kind of scramble back together. And even amongst graduating, I didn't even get to celebrate my graduation, y'all. The daggone pandemic interrupted graduation. I didn't even get to walk the stage.
Yeah.
So something that I thought would be a big, like a huge page turn, new chapter, a celebratory type thing.
Yeah.
Instead, it was just kind of bleak and confusing. Like I
Yeah.
feel like during 2020,
Oh yeah.
even into 2021, everybody was just confused.
Yes. Very confused.
Like, how much longer is this going on for? Businesses are shutting down. Like, we need to stimulate the economy. Now we got too much. Now it's inflation out the wazoo.
Yeah.
But, like, people were just confused.
Yeah.
So imagine graduating school and you're trying to, navigate your life. And then it's just all this uncertainty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to say, I feel like that was The Fallout. And then I want to say it's giving Awakening, Phoenix Rising, The Reckoning. It's like, okay, now we're coming back.
Yes.
Like,
Come on.
now we're back and we're
Come
better.
on.
Like, now we've seen, the people who didn't make it to this chapter, they wasn't coming to the next chapter. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like a time where I'm kind of looking around, taking stock of, okay, when the dust settles, when the rubble is cleared away, what are we still working with? And I feel like those are the raw materials that are launching us into that second half.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what I'm feeling like. It's a little reckoning.
Yes.
Like,
Come on,
it's the
Reckoning.
Phoenix.
Come on.
She's rising.
Yes.
She's rising.
Period.
Period.
I love that. I feel like God will definitely break us down and build us right back on up.
Yes.
I feel like that is his plans for all of us. Like he's going to present to us. He's going to break us down. He's going to humble us. And the people that are meant to be, the experience that are meant to be, if they're not there, they weren't supposed to be there for us. They weren't supposed to be there.
And sometimes we need that.
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
it's like, not even necessarily I feel like God is breaking us down, but I feel like sometimes God allows the consequences of our own choices and actions to just play out.
Yes.
Just let us see, like,
Yes.
here's what it's going to be if you do this your way. And I feel like I'd rather have that experience in my early 20s than be married, be with children, have a business. I would rather experience that when I have a little less to lose. You know what I mean? I don't have people relying on me. Like, it was tough. Don't get me wrong. It was very tough. I don't know about you, but those pandemic times, it was too many questions, not enough answers. But I don't mind looking back now. I'm like, I'm glad that I experienced it when I did, so that I could move forward with that knowledge. I feel like I really needed to see what I felt like was the worst, so that I could know it only gets better from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is as low as you're gonna go.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it, but we're coming back.
Yes.
It's the reckoning.
Yes, it's the reckoning.
It is the reckoning. It is the Phoenix.
Yes.
She's rising.
Period. I feel like leaving off this segment on such a high, and I think this is a perfect way to introduce our game. We have a fun little game. I'm super excited.
Okay.
So today's game, we're going to do 2 truths and 1 lie.
2 truths and a lie.
Yes. I decided to just do one and make it extremely hard.
Oh, okay. 2 truths and a lie.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
I played tennis growing up. One of my favorite foods is tacos. Outside of white nail polish, my second favorite color to get my nails painted is a light pink. What are the 2 truths and what is the lie? Even though I know you know one of them.
I was about to say, hold on. This doesn't seem hard. I'm gonna go light pink. I think is a lie. I think one of your favorite food is tacos. I think the first 2 are true, and I think the second one is a lie. I've seen you with French nails. I've seen you with. I think I've always seen you with some combination of either nude or white. I don't think I've really seen pink.
Dang, I thought this was gonna be hard. I thought this was gonna be hard. What? Because you don't like really see my toes out like that.
That's
like,
true. I don't really see your toes out, but every time I do, they're white. I've never seen you with no pink nail polish.
I literally thought that you were gonna go.
No, because you're a taco girl. If you're either fries or tacos. I feel like if you're going for something fast food, like Chipotle.
Yeah, that's not tacos. I don't get tacos.
What do you get? Literally yesterday you said, "Ooh, tacos. I love tacos."
Did I say that yesterday? I literally okay.
Yeah.
The next time I gotta make something a little harder because
I don't know what to say. Yeah, I've never seen the pink nails.
Jeez, I have definitely gotten pink before.
I'm not saying you haven't. I'm saying clearly it's not your second favorite because it's not frequent.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Won that.
That was so
It's that.
That's a little too easy.
That's a little easy.
Okay, but I guess on the flip of our conversation, what's the biggest lesson that you learned thus far?
Ooh. The biggest lesson. Mm-hmm. Do you have something?
Do I have something?
Yeah. Do you know your biggest lesson?
I do. I feel like there's so many lessons that I have learned. I would say the big theme has been trusting the process and trusting God. That has really been the biggest lesson of my 20s. I try to always be in control, or thought when I was in my late teenage years, I just always just thought that I was just in full control of everything. I had to realize that, for one, I'm not God.
Yeah.
And two, you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't control the outcome of anything. All you can do is just put on the work, leave the anxiety at the door, and whatever happens will happen.